Good morning. I am Todd Smith, the proud principal of Fort Pierce Central High School, and I have the great pleasure of declaring the official start of this graduation ceremony. To begin this memorable celebration, please stand for the presentation of colors by the Fort Pierce Central High School Army JROTC, the Pledge of Allegiance and National Anthem, which will be sung by Fort Pierce Central's own student, Bianca Wesley. Please remain standing until the color guard is retired from the room. Color guard. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early lights what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
You may be seated. Thank you, Bianca. Fort Pierce Central High School's JROTC. At this time, I'd like to welcome Mr. Joseph Loiseau, the intern principal from Westwood High School, to the podium. Mr. Loiseau.
It is my pleasure to welcome to you this graduation ceremony. This graduation ceremony is one of the most memorable events in anyone's life. This celebration comes at the end of a long journey of academics and social preparations. These past 13 years have involved some of the most memorable and influential moments of your lives. Individually, your experiences are unique, but together you share a common bond as members of St. Lucie County Public Schools graduating class of 2017. I am filled with excitement and anticipation for the next stage in your life and how it begins. Congratulations to all of you for qualifying to attend today's graduation ceremony. Congratulations to the parents who are present here today to witness this great moment in the lives of your sons and daughters. Congratulations to the friends and families for being here to take this moment in with your sons and daughters and relatives. This achievement could not be possible without each and every one of you to attend and meet the graduation moments of this joint achievement. Graduates, would you take this time to applaud your supporters for being here today? On behalf of the school board, Superintendent Gent, the administration, faculty, and staff of our schools, congratulations to all of you, all of our graduates, and we welcome each and every one of you as we are excited that you would share this occasion with us. At this time, please welcome the wonderful principal of Treasure Coast High School, Mrs. Susan Seal.
It is my privilege today to introduce our special guests. Please stand to be recognized. Dr. Donna Mills, Vice Chairman of the Board representing District 3. Mrs. Debbie Hawley, School Board Member representing District 1. Mr. E. Wayne Gent, Superintendent of St. Lucie Public Schools. Dr. Kevin G. Perry, Assistant to the Superintendent. Mr. Dan Frank, Executive Director of Schools. Mrs. Lydia Martin, Executive Director of Schools. Third time's a charm. Ms. Latricia Woolard, Executive Director of Schools. Mrs. Sunny Booker, Director of Alternative Education. Mr. Henry Sanabria, Principal of Lincoln Park Academy. Mr. Todd Smith, Principal, Fort Pierce Central High School. Mr. Joseph Lazeau, Intern Principal, Fort Pierce Westwood High School. Mr. Adrian Ocampo, Principal, Port St. Lucie High School. Miss Andrea Popwell, Principal, St. Lucie West Centennial High School. Mr. Ray Ringali, Director of Acceleration Academies. Mr. Keith Davis, Principal of Performance-Based Preparatory Academy. Please welcome our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. E. Wayne Gent.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. All right, it's a good day. So the graduates, I'm glad you came out here today, and I'm glad to see the parents and the family members that are here. Before I begin, I just want to thank Principal Smith and his team here from Fort Pierce Central, the ROTC, with the color guard, and Bianca who sang, and the folks that are in the sound room, because it takes a lot of folks behind the scenes to make things happen. So I do appreciate Mr. Smith letting us use this facility this morning. To the graduates, how many of you kind of thought maybe this day wasn't going to come? Okay? Yeah. So here's the good news. Back in May, we had almost 2,500 young men and young women that graduated from our public schools. And today, in just a few minutes, you're going to be on equal footing with them. And that's something to be proud of. And you overcame, many of you, some unique challenges and some hardships, but you hung in there. And the key word is perseverance. You stayed with it. You stayed the course. You weren't going to be denied this opportunity. I'm sure that there were folks pushing you, family members, guidance counselors, principals, administrators that were behind you, supporting you, telling you you can make it and you can achieve this and receive that high school diploma, which is going to open up some doors for you. So the key word there being perseverance. Let this be a lesson to you for the rest of your life, that when you're going to face hardships sometimes that may seem insurmountable, may seem too big of a mountain to climb, you got friends, you got support staff. You can always come back to your school centers and work with us to make sure that we can help support you. We want to keep track of you, where you're going to be the next few years, and help you through that journey. But just as you overcame some obstacles to be here this morning to receive that diploma, let that be an example that no matter what you face throughout your life, that you have what it takes inside of you to overcome that and to be successful at whatever it is that you want to head out and do. The next 5 to 10 years of your life, you're going to make some of the most important decisions for the rest of your life. And then you'll spend the rest of your life managing those decisions that you're going to make in the next few years. So make good decisions. It's just good common sense. You make good decisions, they're easier to manage. And when you have those hardships, those obstacles, just think back, you know what, I had that trying to get out of high school, trying to get that diploma, and I made it then, and I can make it now. So on behalf of our school board, on behalf of our principals and all of our schools, and all of our faculty members, staff members, everyone, sincere congratulations for this achievement, and best wishes for a very, very bright future. Thank you.
It is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for this auspicious occasion. She began her career in education as a high school French teacher in Miami-Dade County and also worked as a reading teacher in Palm Beach County. After 11 years in the K-12 setting, she moved into post-secondary arena as a master instructor for the Teacher Education Department at Indian River State College. Throughout her tenure at Indian River State College, she was instrumental in launching 5 of IRSC's initial bachelor's degree programs in 2008 and a 6th BS degree program in teacher education. She has received numerous awards and often serves on many state advisory groups and committees. In her current role as Vice President of Academic Affairs for Indian River State College, she enjoys the opportunity to foster students' personal growth and academic success. Please welcome our guest speaker and our friend, Dr. Marta Cronin.
Good morning. It is indeed a pleasure to be here with you this morning to celebrate this milestone in your lives. All those assignments completed, all those late nights studying, all those early morning wake-ups have finally paid off. In just a little while, you will officially become high school graduates. But what exactly does that mean? Is this it? Are the kinds of sacrifices you've made to get here finally over? Well, not exactly. Statistics tell us that by 2020, over 65% of all jobs in the United States will require more than a high school diploma. 2020, that's less than 3 years from now. The average salary for someone with a high school diploma is just over $35,000. With a 2-year certificate or degree, just over $38,000. And with a bachelor's degree, over $59,000. Can you see where I'm going with this? Basically, if you want to make the big bucks, you have to be willing to put the time and effort in to make it happen. I'm sure the last thing you want to hear today at this point in your life, this very important day, this day that you've worked over a dozen years to get to, should only be a stepping stone, a place for you to rest for a short while until you pick up again and continue along the path to your future. But that is exactly what I am telling you. Celebrate your accomplishments, for you should be proud of how far you've come. Sadly, not everyone makes it to the finish line of high school completion. But once the celebrating is over, consider where you want to go next and what you need to do to get there, and begin moving in that direction. I'll be the first to admit that when I rounded the corner to my senior year in high school, I was a little tired of school. Well, maybe more than just a little tired. When my guidance counselor said, next year, AP Physics and AP Calculus, I said, no thank you, I'll take accounting and typing. Yes, you heard correctly, typing. That was back in the day when few people could afford their own computers, and we didn't have any in my high school. I bet you didn't think I was that old. At least I'm hoping you didn't think I was that old. Anyway, the point is that I felt I needed a break from school, and I got a little lazy. I think we all do from time to time. And for some of you, maybe that's part of the reason why you're here today. But none of that matters. The important thing is that you made it. Some of you may have a pretty good idea of what it is you want to do next. Others may have no idea. If you have a plan and you know what you want to do and how you are going to get there, I commend you. Stick to your plan and make it happen. If you haven't decided what your next step is, might I suggest you consider the following things. First, what is it that you like to do? What do you have a passion for? What makes you happy? These are all important, since you will likely spend most of your adult life engaged in the work you choose to do. Don't compare yourself to others or allow others to dictate your path. This is your path, and you will be the one following it. So it's important that it be primarily your decision. Next, consider what careers connect to the things you like to do. What skills do you need to be successful in that career? Do you possess those skills? Sometimes determining how to make a career of what you like to do and connecting it to your strengths is not so easy. But there are a lot of career assessments out there available to you, and I recommend you take advantage of those. Once you've decided what you want to do, it's time to determine how you plan on making that happen. You aren't expected to have all the answers. None of us do. Talk to individuals in the fields you might be interested in. Visit your local college and talk to an advisor. Do some research. Trust me, this will be time well spent. Remember that it doesn't necessarily take an academic degree to gain a successful career. There are plenty of hands-on certificate programs that you could pursue instead. Whatever you do, don't do nothing. There's a place and a calling out there for you somewhere. If you haven't found it yet, you will. In closing, I'd like to leave you with a quote from Oprah Winfrey that says, "Understand that the right to choose your path is a privilege. Use it, dwell in possibility." May your futures be filled with endless possibilities. Congratulations.
Dr. Cronin, on behalf of the school board, Superintendent Gent, and the students of St. Lucie Public Schools, please accept this token of our appreciation as our thank you for your motivation and inspiring words this morning.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Superintendent Gent, please join me at the podium. Distinguished members of the school board and Superintendent Gent, as principal of Port St. Lucie High School and representative of all high school principals, I present to you the graduating class of 2017. I certify that they have met the graduation requirements of the school board of St. Lucie County and the state of Florida.
Thank you, Mr. Ocampo. You may award their diplomas at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Gent. Mr. Santabria, please prepare to call the roll. Special guests, please join the principals of each of our high schools to congratulate our students. Will the candidates on the first row please rise and proceed to the stage?
Graduating from Fort Pierce Central High School, Previs Brooks, Jr. Michael Brown. Dontavius Crutchfield. Junicia Laguirre. Shayla Quintanilla. Graduating from Fort Pierce Westwood High School, Ladarius Bowie. Graduating from Port St. Lucie High School, Carlos Calvillo. Jonathan Quintanilla. Graduating from St. Lucie West Centennial High School, Jody Ann K. Anson. Tiffany M. Bell. Matthew T. Chance Brandon. David Garcia. Andrew J. Hunter. Tajmir J. Thompson. Joseph A. Vasile. Graduating from Treasure Coast High School, Zachary Navin. Isaiah Soto. Graduating from Performance-Based Preparatory Academy, Cody Elligood. Destiny McDonald. William Ramos. Jamisha Reed. De'Ara Reynolds. Katiana Jupiter. Graduating from St. Lucie Acceleration Academies, Malik Holland. Brandon Latanzi. Timothy Main.
Mr. Gent, graduates, you may take a seat, please. Mr. Gent, will you please join me once again at the podium, and will all the graduates please rise?
So graduates, by the authority vested in me as superintendent, I confirm you graduates. At this time, you may now turn your tassels. Congratulations.
Graduates, you may be seated. This morning has been a wonderful experience for our students and their families as we honor their accomplishments. The graduation ceremony tells you that you are now prepared to begin your life to achieve your life's purpose. I want to remind you that you are the most powerful young generation in human history. You are powerful because you have the most amazing technology at your command, which no other generation could have ever dreamed of. Make sure you make a difference, as did the generations before you. Be ready to make all the impossible possible. Let us give our combined best wishes to these young men and women for their journey ahead. As we begin our recessional, I ask the audience to remain seated until the last graduate exits the auditorium. Mr. Gent and distinguished guests on stage, please proceed with the recessional.